Hello from my hometown of St. Joseph, Missouri. While I'm here over the holidays, I've been sort of looking at a crystal ball. And by a crystal ball, of course, means spreadsheets, since that's what real crystal balls are like. And looking at the trajectory of growth for Gamkedo Club, how it works, and having had some conversations with multiple time project leads in our organization, we've come to a realization about how fundamentally we're going to have to shift what we do in early 2019. When I first started Gamkedo Club, it began as a local group that had a certain kind of culture of appreciation, culture of productivity, culture of social connection. And as we ported it into an online group, we made a point of trying to find ways that even as it scaled, as it grew in numbers, as more people could become involved, that we didn't want to lose touch with the ways, the format, the things that worked and that people most appreciated, found most valuable and helpful to them in their motivation, in their learning, in their connection to others, collaborators. We want to make sure we didn't lose those things as the group continued to grow. And sure enough, I've considered for a long time, one of our big benefits of being a digital organization has been that we are free from some of the same physical constraints that limit physical space organizations. A school might be limited by classroom size, building dimensions, dormitories available, number of teaching staff, teaching ratios, and so on, in a way that really we haven't seemed as bounded by. But something else has come up where we looked at if our numbers continued too much further, and we have more room to grow, and we will. But that if we continued just to grow unbounded, if we became 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times the size, some very core things about how we operate would be lost. We would no longer be able to have meetings in which, at the end, anyone in attendance would be able to share their "how was your weeks?" personal updates on what's going on in their lives. We would lose the dynamic that, in many cases, college clubs or Greek organizations enjoy, in which every member knows most other members. Or certainly in the case of leadership opportunities, that there's a good proportion, good number of leadership opportunities to go around that aren't consistently dominated by the same few who have, within a much larger group, attained virtually a level of minor celebrity status. We like that as a smaller community, people can much more rotate in and out of those roles. And so because of that, early in 2019, Gamkedo Club will be having a member cap, a total number of members beyond which more will not be accepted. We'll have a wait list, a bit like we've done in the past for Patreon-sponsored opportunities. Some percentage of the allocation of total members will be accounted for out of our total numbers. And thanks to the fact we have a rate limiter cap, in case you forgot what that is, it's that if too many people try to join in too short a period of time, our website actually locks up registration, because in the past we've had so many members join so quickly that it became difficult to fully integrate all of them into our way of doing things, answer their questions, help them feel recognized. We want to make sure that no one who joins our organization feels lost in a sea of faces, overlooked, or otherwise missed, and so we do have a rate limiter, which is also why I'm not going to state the specific number yet. I'll talk about that more in early 2019, after the holidays are behind us. But thanks to the rate limiter, we are safe from it can't happen this week, the week after, or I'm going to have to mention that number. We're starting to get close. But that will change some things about the organization, and obviously a lot of our, and my purpose, have still and always will be to help more people than we necessarily can fit into Gamkedo Club. So it's also something where, in various other ways, you're going to be seeing Gamkedo Club find ways to continue to help outside of ourselves, in which materials that I make for our club members, we'll be able to find ways to make those available for non-club members. Things we learn in testing in our laboratory of how Gamkedo Club works for people, how they learn, how they overcome certain challenges, and again, not always technical, including creative, including motivational, including organizational. Sharing those techniques and strategies in a way that helps others is actually reliant upon Gamkedo Club remaining the kind of community at a scale at which we can learn these things from in ways that are useful to others. If we grew to such an extent that it became a website with thousands of things getting flung around, and it became impersonal, and people couldn't meet with me one-on-one, and people didn't recognize each other, well, it would lose a lot of what makes it special about what it is, how it works, and the benefits that members get from it. So at this point, you can still, at the time of this video at least, still register for Gamkedo Club with no application, no wait list, none of those kind of things. But early in 2019, we'll be reaching the point of there will be a hard cap, after which it will become increasingly difficult to join the organization without at least a wait list, potentially an application or other things. And again, this is not to be exclusive. This is not to exclude anybody or hold anybody out. This is not going to make something where we only want the best of the best or people who had a privileged background, because a lot we want to try to learn through, again, kind of as a laboratory community of learning, is ways to help people who have different backgrounds, different challenges, different head starts or lack of head starts in different directions, and finding ways to help overcome communication challenges, technical challenges, other kind of learnings that we can carry from that into a way that then we can help others with. And I've got a bunch of other ideas that you'll be hearing about in early 2019 as we start to make that transition. But that is a change from where I initially envisioned the organization going, and want to make this video to share that with you, that as of early 2019, Gamkedo Club will have a total members cap, after which obviously, if and when people voluntarily decide to move on from the organization, as sometimes people do 6, 8, 12 months, a couple years later, then of course that'll reopen up as available, and that's where I say we'll have a wait list that'll appear when we hit that point. But that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. I hope those of you all celebrate holidays this time of year have great holidays. Those of you visiting family, great time to visit family. And for everybody else out there, keep making stuff, keep learning things. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll have more updates for y'all in January. Have a good one.